The Toyota Prius. Is it a transportation appliance or is it a highway hauler? Let's find out on this episode of Queer4Cars. It's William West Hopper from Queer4Cars, and we're with the 2021 Toyota Prius XLE in all-wheel drive. We have taken this vehicle on a 700-mile trip over a few days, and we have a lot to report to you about it. There seems to be a lot of hate out there in the car enthusiast community for the Toyota Prius. Is it because it is a high-mileage transportation appliance? And yes, in a way it is. Is it because the styling is sort of out of this world and spaceship-like? Well, maybe that's what it is too. We found this car to be a great highway trip car, except for one thing and one thing only. And we're going to tell you on this episode of Queer4Cars. The Toyota Prius, 20 years of hybrid technology. That's what Toyota has had in this car. So it's interesting to take this car out. What's it like to drive a Toyota Prius? Well, let's get in this 2021 XLE all-wheel drive model and give it a try. It has a remote key, it has the button right there to start, and it has this kind of odd little gear shift lever that has reverse, neutral, drive, and B. I didn't quite understand what B was. As we looked into that, helps put more regenerative energy into the battery when you're going downhill. Doesn't provide one pedal driving as you'd find in an electric vehicle. There is a park button here to put for park, and then there are drive modes here. And if I wanted to go in EV mode, I can hit that and it'll drive as an electric vehicle for a short while. So we're gonna go out of that. All right, let's go out for our drive. Now, one of the things that I find interesting about this vehicle, as forward and as modern as it is, it still has the old style pedal emergency brake. You have to push it down to apply it, and then you have to push it down again to unapply it, which is sort of interesting in a vehicle that is always considered to be so contemporary and so forward technologically. It handles well, and we did review a regular Prius about 3 years ago, and you can check that out on our blog. We did not do it on a video, and found that one was a little light, and I do believe that that is because of the fact that it was just the front-wheel drive Prius. Riding over the bumps, pretty good for a small car, not bad. No complaints on the handling of this vehicle. And this XLE all-wheel drive is heavier than the one we reviewed a few years ago, and that really does make a difference on the highway. While we didn't experience any windy conditions while we've been driving this vehicle in September, the last time we drove a Prius was in the winter, spring, January, February, March period of time, and we did find that that one, which was front-wheel drive, did not have the weight and blew around on the highway a little bit more. We didn't feel that at all, even with the heavy trucks going past us. Now here we are, curve going around some twisty, curvy mountain roads here in Rock Creek Park in Washington, D.C., and car handles very well, nice. It's a lot of fun to drive. So there you go, a Prius. Did you hear me? A Prius, a lot of fun to drive. Yes, I will admit it, the Prius has been fun to drive. Let's take a look inside the 2021 Toyota Prius. So what's the inside of the Toyota Prius like? Well, in the front, you've got plenty of leg room. The seats are not super comfortable for long trips, but for short running around trips, I'm sure they would be fine. And that seems to be one of the things that Toyota has not really mastered, is seat comfort in a lot of their vehicles. Space-wise, we're good. 2 cup holders here. There is a USB outlet and a 12-volt outlet right there, which are good. this USB connects through to the Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. There is a charger spot right here, which is great. You know we like a wireless device charger in our cars, so that works well. Heated front seats, but not cooled front seats. So nice screen here. While this vehicle is not equipped with an onboard map, but it does activate through our Android Auto. One of the things that we found interesting in this car, of course, is the center dash. The dash display is not just over the driver's steering wheel. It is in the center of the car. So that takes a little getting used to. There is the separate display for many of the controls that include heating, air conditioning, your general automobile controls, map, audio are there. There is a heater control down below which works well. This also will show you when you go to set your seat up or something like that. It will go to show you some of those details as well. This vehicle is equipped with Sirius XM radio. That's good, and it runs has a lot of eco buttons on here. There is eco heat controls, there is EV mode, drive control, so for the driver, so lots of things. So inside the 2021 Toyota Prius XLE is pretty simple. The one thing that a lot of people notice with this vehicle is the fact that the center display screen is in the center of the vehicle. Now there is a separate display screen down here which shows you the audio and map if you are connected to Android Auto, and it also shows you the different apps that are available. So the navigation app on this vehicle is not installed. You can use Waze and other apps through your mobile device if it is wired in. Now this vehicle does require that your mobile device be wired through the USB to activate the map. So I'm pretty impressed, and especially the fact that it has a wireless charging. You can see that the charger there, so it's charging there. It doesn't charge really fast. We did find out that this wireless device charger is not a fast charger in any way, shape, or form. Get a faster charge when you use the wired USB connection. So menu is right there, so it shows you the menu. Air conditioning is right here. We have eco mode, air conditioning, of course, buttons in there. You can push this to figure out where your air conditioning is going, so it's not going into the back seat, just to the front there, and you'll see that up there on this display screen. So there's the all-wheel drive. It'll show you where the wheels are getting power. This is my eco diary for the last few days. Today I'm getting 34.7 miles to the gallon. I've only driven almost 1.5 miles. Yesterday, while I drove 306 miles, I got 50.3. The day before, drove 260, and I got 56.2 miles per gallon. So that's pretty impressive. And you can see it was getting 49.5 on the 24th when it went 43 miles. So it was doing pretty darn well for that. So let's go down. There's monthly. There's your eco savings. It kind of tells you about that. So our average speed was 48 miles per hour. EV driving ratio 11%. There's drive modes in here: normal, power mode, which is sort of a sport mode, eco mode, which is what I tried to run in yesterday while I was on the highway to get the highest mileage I could, and then of course normal. So there you go. So there's your display, your center display. Now a lot of people want that display right ahead of you, and you see that in most cars, but Toyota Prius has always sort of had it in the center. You'll also find, I believe, on their Yaris that it's there. Let's talk a little bit about the heads-up display. I haven't figured out how to really show that on camera. I'm not a big fan of this heads-up display. You can adjust it up and down, though the way I sit, it sort of is not right in the center of my view. It moves over. There is a little bucket up there that projects it up to the windshield. It's not projected on a plastic screen like some manufacturers do. It shows a variety of things. You can turn it off too, which is nice. There is a space here for your sunglasses, which I'm not a big fan of, because when you put your sunglasses up here, they often get hot in the summer. The sun visor does not slide out, but it does have a slide bit. I would like it to slide a little bit more than that. I don't really love that part, but it works. A little light up here when you open up the vanity mirror, so that works out well. There is a glove box down here. That's nice. Cup holder over here, cup holder over here. So in the front seats, you have 2 cup holders per seat, while in the back seat, you just have 2 cup holders on the outboard seats. In the back of the car, pretty simple, pretty basic. Seats are pretty comfortable. Actually, I did not ride back here, but just sitting in them, they feel a little bit more comfortable than the front seats. You have 2 USB ports right here, which is nice. There is no 12-volt port or anything. We really don't need a 12-volt port. There is one 12-volt port up front. That's it. Cup holders are on either side. I don't know if you can see those at this point in time, but this is the view from the inside. Now, what is the back seat like for the Toyota Prius? It's actually pretty comfortable. Nice wide seats for 2, possibly 3 people. There is a fold-down armrest with 2 cup holders. There are 2 magazine pockets, and one even has a zippered compartment in it. Now, you're not finding 2 magazine pockets in a lot of new cars today. So pretty impressed with the fact that there is plenty of space for things here. Now, you're gonna have armrests, electric windows, controls, locks and doors. Pretty nice. Headroom is pretty good, not super tall there. I'm about 5'11", and I just touched the top of this. So the headroom of this vehicle is good. The space inside is good. Plenty of leg room, knee room, and just in general, you know, pretty comfortable. Many people say small cars are run by hamsters. I say this car is run by woodchucks, because when the hybrid engine operates, it sounds like wood being milled or wood being chipped. Let's go ahead and have a look under the hood of this 2021 Toyota Prius. Toyota's 1.8 liter double overhead cam 16 valve engine takes up pretty much the whole area of under the hood area. Very clean, very easy. The batteries here, coolant, windshield washer fluid, more coolant over there, multiple coolant areas, so lots of space. There's fuses there, so easy to access for this. Actually, the engine looks pretty clean and pretty simple to get into. So there, I put it into the B mode now, so we're going to drive a little bit, and that's supposedly for when you're going downhill to help put more energy back into the battery. And then what the hybrid does is it just uses electric motor power to give power to the vehicle. So it really gives it a little bit extra there. So you gotta really love this vehicle. I mean, it's just, for everything that people dislike about it, is probably why you should like it. I mean, it is a great vehicle for running around town or for running on the highway. Now, one thing I'm going to say for the extra cost of a hybrid is you really do need to be able to drive it. If you're only going to be driving a couple 100 miles a month, probably the cost of a hybrid is not going to save you that much money. But the more you drive it, the more money it's going to save you. And the other side of it is, if the battery isn't used, the battery will degrade, and that has been an issue with some older hybrids that have not gotten the mileage that they should have gotten on them. And then the battery goes away, and then you have to replace the battery. And oftentimes that battery is not a replacement issue under warranty. So the more you drive a hybrid vehicle, the better. You're going to get higher mileage, and it's going to pay for itself that way. So that's a good thing. The Toyota Prius has been with us for more than 2 decades now, and it really has started the revolution of hybrid technology in automobiles, which of course have led on to electrification in automobiles. If you're driving in the city, I would say, yes, think about a hybrid, whether it be the Prius or one of the other Toyota models, or even one of the models from one of the other manufacturers, because hybrids are now pretty common across the board on different manufacturers. But Toyota really is the brand that brought the hybrid technology to market and made it popular, which is great. Now, there are also plug-in hybrids, which means that you plug it in like an electric vehicle. Now you can see with the trip that we've recently had, we've averaged 52.2 miles per gallon. Pretty impressive for that. So very impressed with the handling of this vehicle, very impressed with the mile per gallons of this vehicle. So Toyota Prius, yeah, I'm not gonna say I hate it. I don't. I like this car, but after driving it, the only real complaint I have are the front seats, in both the left and right front seat for the two adult American males. We found just did not really conform to our bums, nor did they conform to our backs, so we could use a little bit more lumbar support. I want to thank you for watching this episode of Queer4Cars. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and follow us here on YouTube for more auto and truck reviews and stories about the automotive lifestyle. Until then. What's it like inside the 2021 Toyota Prius XLE? Well, let's, come on, stop it.